Welcome back to the pregame. Time now to talk with West Branch coach Butch Pedersen. And Coach, overcoming a little bit of a sluggish start Friday night down at Wapello, come away though with that 42-21 win. Guys really started to dig deep and find a way to open that game up.
A lot of that in the first half, we didn't play with a lot of enthusiasm, and we talked about it at halftime, and they came out, and we made some adjustments on offense especially, and we came back and really outplayed them pretty badly the second half. I think we were ahead at one point, 42-7, and it was a 14-7 game at halftime, so I think you can see the difference on some of our adjustments.
Well, one of the things, I had it written down, we got the ball with 2.5 minutes to go before halftime at our own, basically, goal line. They had down the punt right at the goal line. We had run 10 offensive plays to that point. I mean, Wapello did a great job of really controlling that clock. But at that point, even there, you're tied at 7. The offense guts it out, a 99-yard touchdown drive to get that momentum going to the locker room.
No, there's no question. That was a huge drive. It was a great momentum builder for us, and I think it hurt their morale a little bit. We went down and went 99 yards for a touchdown very efficiently, scored, and they were thinking, oh, West Branch woke up here, and that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. Well, what's it say, though? I mean, you mentioned a little bit ago that you went into the locker room, you made some adjustments. It seems like each week you go in, you do a little bit here and there, just some minor tweaks, and the guys are responding. I mean, what's that say about the guys seeing what's going on out there and making the adjustments on the fly?
Well, it's happened, probably in every game this year when the ball game's been close at halftime. We've gone in, we adjust, we talk to the kids, we get them refocused, and they come out. Because this group is a group that we have to focus now and then. And when they are focused, they're a good football team. When they're not focused, they're very average.
Well, one thing that did happen in that second half, after that lead got built up, did give up a couple of long touchdown runs, but I'm sure those second-string guys were probably just as eager to look at some of that film and try to learn from that, which is what you see from good programs of guys 1 through however many on the roster wanting to get better each and every night.
There's no question about it. I firmly believe that you need to play your second team when you get an opportunity to do that. And so we had our second teamers in there and some of our third stringers as well. And Wapello chose to play their first string on those last 2 drives and scored two touchdowns on us. And that's fine because they have to have confidence in what they're doing, and we want to get our kids some playing time. So the score wasn't really 42-21. It was kind of a little different score than that. But, that's fine. We just want to do what we need to do to help our kids, and I know the coach down there wants to do what he can do to help his kids, and that's what it's all about.
Looking ahead here tonight, taking on Wilton, and probably the surprise team, at least in the district, if not in the state, coming in 4-0, and all of a sudden this is basically, for the inside track of the district, this is a Wilton team that really has turned things around from last year.
Javin Drake has made a tremendous difference for them, and Bryce Ovison is also a tremendous running back. They do a variety of different formations. They're a zone read team, they're a stretch team, and they like to throw the ball a little bit, and they have some exotics that we've been working on. So we have some things that we haven't done on defense that we're going to throw at them Friday night and see what they can adjust to some of those things. And they're well coached, and it'll be a big challenge for us. And we're excited on our senior night to go out there. And if we win the ball game, we can clinch at least a share of the district title.
When you mentioned right there, senior night, one of a couple of special things going on. First off, with that senior night, last time in the regular season that this group of seniors has a chance to get out there, you go through it every year. It's an emotional night, and you know that the guys need to enjoy it, but be ready to go once that whistle sounds.
There's no question about it. It's going to be a really memory maker for these guys. I told these guys that they're going to remember the last regular season game that they play on the football field the rest of their lives. I can remember my last game when we played West Liberty and we tied the score 14-14, and Lurch and I and Joe Rummels walked off the field bawling our heads off. So, that's something that's good about football and something that sometimes is kind of hard to remember, but we do have to grow from those experiences.
Well, and the other thing going on is the Veterans Appreciation Night, rescheduled from a few weeks ago when the weather didn't cooperate, but a lot of people put a lot of work in. It's going to be decorated field, and it's going to be just a great opportunity to finally recognize the veterans, something we hoped to do a few weeks ago.
We've been wanting to do that for the veterans for quite some time. We wanted to do a flag last year, but they didn't think that we should do a flag, so we decided not to do that. But this year we're going to, again, try to do that, and David McElrath has just worked his tail off, making sure this is a really memorable thing for all of our veterans, and I think it's going to be outstanding.
I'll get there early, starting at about 5:30 with the walk. Going to be some special things going on with that, and then an earlier kickoff as well. So the guys going to have to be ready to go. Coach, thanks very much for joining us.
Yeah, our walk will be at 5:20, and then as soon as we get up there, our announcer is going to start the thing on senior night. So we're going to try to get that done quickly and efficiently, and then get ourselves prepared to play Wilton.
Welcome back to the pregame. Time right now for our Liberty Communications Assistants Coach Minute. And right now we are joined by fresh-off head coach Chris Robertson. And, Coach, first off, remind folks a little bit, how long have you been here and what it is that you do on this West Branch staff?
I believe I've been coaching for 10 years now, since 2005. I started with Barney and Rick underneath them guys. Pretty much our job is to get kids ready for the world and get them ready for varsity level, and so that they become good human beings and good athletes as well.
Well, as the head fresh soft coach, how much do you work with Butch and Jared and trying to get things ready so that the groundwork is laid when these guys get up to varsity, they're ready to take off and really succeed at that highest level?
Really, we don't do too much with Butch or Jared. I think it's just because, I graduated from West Branch. We kind of all know the mindset and the way the game needs to be played here at West Branch, and so it's kind of, we can look at each other. We're on the same page as far as that goes, and then we're constantly going to clinics, and that's when really, and that's during the spring, is when we do our most communicating on what we want to do defensively, offensively, and all those things.
Looking at schedule-wise, I know that, when you were playing, it may have been a little different. When I was in school, it was always you played fresh soft, followed right after by the varsity. Now you're doing a lot of Mondays or Thursdays or moving things around. Does that change how you prepare or what you have to do with the kids to get them ready?
It makes it tough because there's the last 3 weeks here have been set in stone on how our schedule is, so that's been a good thing for us. But earlier, we played on Tuesday and I believe a Monday, then a Tuesday, so that makes it hard adjusting because the kids, I think it's good to be in a routine, and when you take them out of a routine, it makes it hard on them as well. I think any coach, like Wapello, we went down to Wapello last night and they didn't have school on Monday, so they came out flat, and that's effective, not staying on a routine.
Right. Well, the other thing that you do is you're up in the booth usually on Friday nights helping the varsity. Talk a little bit about what your responsibility is or what types of things you're doing on a Friday night trying to help that varsity succeed.
Pretty much just looking at whatever they want us to look at. Ty Lee likes to pick on, see how their DNs are playing or linebackers or what coverage they're in or the shades, and just pretty much telling Butchie what we see on defense. Anything that we see, we let them know. So that's a big thing.
All right. Well, I know that there's a lot that goes into it, and it's a lot of fun, probably a labor of love like it is for most of us here associated with the program. But, Chris, thanks very much for all that you do, and thanks for joining us here.
Thanks, Steve.
And that is Chris Robertson, tonight's Liberty Communications Assistant Coach.